The electrical activity that caused the dividing of the waters was certainly not everyday lightning. In fact, the magnitude of the event is not fully captured in the Exodus account. According to the 104th Psalm, the waters were raised so high that they stood above the mountains. The 107th Psalm goes further, saying that the waves mounted up to heaven. This is not mere poetic license. The heaven referred to was the visible abode of the planetary gods above. The rabbinical commentaries of the Bible, known as the Midrashim, claim that the waters piled up to a height of 1,600 miles. And moreover, the walls of water could be seen by all the nations of the world. Another famous commentator, Rashi, interpreted the verse in Exodus speaking of the division of the waters to mean that it wasn't just the Red Sea that was divided, but all the oceans and seas of the world. Now, these claims may appear at first glance to be absurd exaggerations, but they're not as far-fetched as they seem. An unknown psalmist in Psalm 33 proclaimed that all the earth should fear the Lord and its inhabitants should stand in awe of his power to gather the waters in a heap. Of course, such an event would not have caused fear or awe if it had not first been seen by everyone on the earth. Electromagnetic activity of this magnitude requires another very large charged body, a planet near to the Earth. Immanuel Velikovsky understood this requirement. This fresco of the crossing depicts the presence of a star over the Sea of Passage. David Talbot explains that in an electric universe, the planets are charged bodies. When they approach each other, electrical discharges will necessarily occur due to their differing potentials. The plasma formations he mentions did exist during the Exodus, including the pillar of fire and cloud.
In an electric solar system, if two planets or moons approach each other from regions of different potential, electric discharge will occur, producing plasma formations stretching between the approaching bodies.
The charged planetary body over the Sea of Passage was Mars. Now, we've documented that Mars was present during the Exodus and played an active role as the angel of the Lord. It was Mars that caused the plagues and other afflictions during the Exodus. It was also Mars that caused the sea to rise and divide. Just before Moses lifted his rod to divide the sea, Mars, as the angel of God, moved and positioned its column, the pillar of fire and cloud, in between the Israelites and the Egyptian host. After Israel had crossed the sea, and as the Egyptians were ready to attack, Mars, as the Lord with his pillar, troubled the Egyptians, slowing them in their attack. It was at this point that Moses stretched forth his rod to command the sea to return. The rabbis say that the water was glass-like, solid, and massive. This description of the seawater forming the walls fits what is scientifically called the fourth phase of water, known as easy water or structured water. Easy water is structured in a crystalline form, different from both ice and normal water. Normal water, called bulk water, when it comes in contact with the surface, creates what is called an exclusion zone along the interface. It is called an exclusion zone because its crystalline structure excludes everything but its own phase of water. Easy water is different from normal water in all respects, including its chemical formula. That easy water is more viscous and dense plays into the rabbinical narrative of water that was solid and appeared like glass.